Well, hello everyone, and happy Monday to all you guys out there. Welcome to our show. This is our show we do just for fun and for kicks and giggles, Melody Mondays. And we are here today to talk about music and the lyrics that transform our lives. That's just something I'm doing for fun because I love music and I have always got a special guest. And today I have, again, Mr. Kenny Ray Jackson from the Bad Jacksons. If you'll welcome him to the screen.
Hey kids,
Hey, how are you, Kenny Ray?
I'm good. How are you today?
You had a busy weekend. I had the utmost pleasure this weekend to be able to catch you singing with Jackson Gibson under the roof of Missy's White Rabbit Lounge here in Eureka Springs. Fantastic show.
It's always a fun party up in that place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, for those of you that are not aware, Mr. Kenny Ray Jacksons is a part of the wonderful dynamic duo called the Bad Jacksons, and you can see him pretty much any weekend here in Eureka Springs. And sometimes y'all do wander out into the corridor a little bit and do some gigs
We
outside
do,
of Eureka.
absolutely. Yeah,
So,
it's good to get outside of your bubble.
yeah. So Kenny Ray, we do this for fun because you love music, I love music, and we love the lyrics. You and I are very analytical in that respect. That we like to dive into music lyrics. And for those of you that are watching us, just don't forget that if you're watching us live, make sure you make a comment below because we'll be giving away another gift card this month for Apple Music. And at the end of the show, hang around. We've got an announcement to make at the end of this show for our April 2022 winner of our $20 gift card for Apple Music. So hang around. We're going to announce that at the end of the show. So in the meantime, if you're watching us live, make a comment and we'll put you in the hat to be drawn for the month of May. And maybe you'll win $20 of a gift certificate for Apple Music.
That's a great thing.
I love it. I love it. Spread the love and share the music. I love it.
Absolutely.
So, Kenny Ray, we
Yes.
decided to change up the way we have in the past. You and I we've taken turns picking out songs, and this week was supposed to be my turn to pick a song, but we kind of opted to change it up for today, and we allowed one of our viewers to pick a song for us to dive into, and so we did just that, and it was a song that I think everybody has heard and love. So dive into it, Kenny Ray, and tell everybody out there what song we're talking about today, would you?
Okay, so we went with Wesley Drummond's suggestion of doing what is arguably the most famous rock and roll song probably in the history of rock and roll. It was banned from being played in guitar shops in the 80s into the 90s and probably the 2000s until maybe Wagon Wheel came along and took over. So, what we're doing today is the epic song Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. So, here we go. I'm going to go off with the lyrics. There's a lady who's sure that all that glitters that is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. And when she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word, she can get what she came for. Ooh, ooh, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, because you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven, you know. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. And it's whispered that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason, and a new day will dawn for those who stand long, and the forest will echo with laughter. Remember laughter? Oh, yeah. And it makes me wonder if there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen. And yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. Your head is humming and it won't go. And in case you don't know, the piper's calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? And as we ride on down the road, wind on down the road. I'm sorry. Our shadows taller than our soul. There walks a lady we all know who shines white light and wants to show how everything still turns to gold. And if you listen very hard, the tune will come to you at last when all is one and one is all. That's what it is to be a rock and not to roll. Oh, yeah. And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
That is a long song, I'll tell you.
It's
Yeah,
an epic.
yes, and I think it's had several people who have sung it and reworked it over the years. I think what I you know when Wesley mentioned it, the first thing that really came to my mind. Do you remember back in the day there was a point in time where this whole thing of that they thought that people were reversing songs with satanic messages in it, and they claimed that this song did that. And there was a big stink about it. It was like, okay, yeah, you take a Led Zeppelin song, you play it backwards, and specifically this one, it's got a satanic message in it. I'm like, that's what I remembered about the song. And then I went back and I'm like,
Sure.
this song's pretty cool. I mean, get past all that hoopla that it was all about, but it's kind of cool. I mean, it's a whole thing about this woman who thinks that money and all these things, everything that glitters, is gonna get her into heaven, and it doesn't. And
No.
and here's where we are. The whole story is about illusions and things that you think are, but they really aren't. And I think it's just got a lot of. But I have to say, I think somebody was smoking something when they wrote this. I
No
mean,
way.
seriously,
Back
right?
in those days.
It had to have been completely. Um, but it's a beautiful song, and it has a lot of great lessons intertwined in it. What does it bring up for you, Kenny Ray?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's got all this great imagery, doesn't it?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Robert Plant really, I think that they wrote this um, to build that album, their whole concert tour, or for this particular album was built around this song. They had to have this epic song that was like the highlight of the show. It was like the big
Big.
the apex,
Mm-hmm.
the big finale. And so that's where this came about, I think. But when you sit here and look at it, okay, so I've always kind of dismissed this song a little bit.
Oh, have you?
Just because it was such a huge hit,
Yeah.
and like I said earlier in the opening there, it was banned from being played in guitar stores. You would see little signs on the wall that said "No Stairway." That was not just a phenomenon for Wayne's World.
Mm-hmm.
um, but when you look at this, I mean, there is definitely. I mean, we all take different meanings from songs, of course. But you can look at this, and yeah, of course, the meat of the story is about a lady, who's probably like eschewed her spiritual life for material things,
Mm-hmm.
and probably thinks that as time goes by, she questions her decisions, but she I think that she probably stays on this path of materialism. She just can't believe that she can't get in,
Mm-hmm.
when the stores are all closed.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe she probably finds out later on in life that she always thought there was time to change where she
Mm.
was going, and
Yep.
her modus operandi, but it's not always like that, is it? We don't always know how much time we have. So to me, that's kind of like the outer shell of the story, but you could look at it in so many different deeper levels. I mean, you know, going into the whole spiritual thing, you could look at the lady who's sure that all that glitters is gold and she's buying a stairway to heaven, and you could delve really deep into this, and maybe look at that in the aspect of the of churches, like these big super churches, mega churches,
Mm-hmm.
where they're the whole monetary, you know, pay for prey sort of thing.
Exactly.
Um,
Yes.
is what you could look at this as, which I kind of like looking at a deeper meaning of things like this.
I do too.
Um,
I
I'm
do
not
too.
certain what Robert Plant was, and I've seen interviews with him where he said it depends on the day what this song meant. You know, what day you catch your blood is what
Hmm.
this song meant to him. But that's not what this is about. This is about what it means to us individually, and that's why he is Robert Plant, super artist, superstar, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
he
Well,
really had a
the
take
debate
on
really was,
things.
did he? The debate really was, did he? Wasn't there like a plagiarism suit or something there that came along for this too?
There was, yeah, and it just got settled like
Yeah,
last year, I think.
yeah,
It went on and on and on,
yeah.
um,
So I
which in
like.
the end, I believe Led Zeppelin won, right?
I think he did. He did.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I like that. I like that. It is. It does have a lot of overtones of the decisions that we make, and I love the fact that his response really is depends on what day you're
right, exactly,
listening. I
and it's
mean,
perfect.
a perfect response to all the people that have questions about this, and I think it was brilliant more than anything. That
Oh
when
yeah.
this first came out, they they didn't release it as a single. They did. You had
Oh
to buy
no,
the
huh?
whole. You had to buy the whole album. You didn't.
Yep.
Another brilliant thing that Led Zeppelin did, I thought, for money making, sell the whole album to can't just buy the single, or you don't listen to just the
Well, and
single.
that's brilliant. Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes. Those guys were masters. That's why they're
yeah.
still selling records today. you
And that
know,
happens. That happens now. I'm like, I'd be surfing for a song on iTunes, and I'd be like, okay, I want to buy that one, but then I have to buy the whole album.
right.
This is great marketing, for
But
sure.
and speaking of that marketing, that whole like satanic message thing that you were talking about,
Hmm.
that was supposedly hidden in this song in particular. That was another marketing gimmick
Hmm.
um, for them, and I think it's so weird when you look at the song, like I was touching on there, where it really could be talking about out of control monetized religion.
Hmm.
Um, and the whole church setup like that, the pay
Hmm.
for pray thing, and they're saying that it's got this satanic message in it, but it really is it could be singing about the very institution that is the antithesis of what that message was supposed to be
Right.
if you played it backwards and ruined your
Absolutely.
record.
I love his album. He has all the little symbols on the album. Uh, I think that probably ended up slamming it home even further.
Of course it does.
Listen in and see what you're gonna hear what you're left up to interpretation again.
Well, and
So
one has to wonder how many people bought duplicate albums of this because they ruined it. Like I said,
hmm
tried to play it backwards. You know
yep,
what I mean?
exactly. It's true. So true. Wow. Well, I think it's a good song, and I appreciate Wesley. Thank you for bringing up the tune for us to talk about today. I love that he did that. And if you want to put in the comments below, give us a song that you'd like for us to talk about. We won't be meeting next week. We're every other week here for Melody Mondays. So write in the comments a song that you think would be worthy of us chit chatting about, and put it in there below. And I want to give a big shout out. Here is our drum roll for our winner for Melody Mondays for the month of April. We are going to give away our $20 gift certificate to Sheila Rice. I believe that's her name, Sheila Rice. And
Yes. Hmm.
so Sheila, if you are listening, be sure and make a comment again. But I've got your contact information. I'll message you privately on Facebook Messenger and get with you to get your email address and give you your gift certificate to Apple Music. Congratulations. And the way Sheila won was she watched and she put in a comment, and we put her name in a hat and drew her name. So we'll do that all of the month of May. So be sure and tune in to any of our live streams. You don't have to be watching us live to be entered. If you happen to be watching us on replay, that's completely fine. We will put your name in the hat again, and draw at
And
the end
if
of
you want to
May.
hear us, if you want to hear us talk about a song that you love,
Yes,
give us suggestions. Right? I mean,
yes,
that's always welcome.
yes. Oh, Sheila says I'm here. Thank you. Well, yay,
Yay! We
Sheila.
love you.
Thank you for tuning in again, Sheila. And also, Robin Ford is watching. Robin, I love you. Thank you for watching. Hope you're doing well. Robin's a wonderful artist. Check out her work. Robin Bray Ford, she's a wonderful artist. Thank you for tuning in today, Robin. So a lot of people watch us on replay. So we'll be sure and look at their names and their comments later on and keep them in the pot for drawing their name out. And so here, just let me put my cool little banner up. I had to put it up because I was like, I created it. There's our $20.
There it is.
There's
That's
our,
very
for
cool.
the month of May, we'll be drawing at the end of May, we'll be drawing another name. All right, Kenny, until next time, glad to be with you again today and hope you have a wonderful week. And are you performing this weekend?
Yep.
Coming up?
Season
Yes.
is on. Season is on. We're doing New Delhi on Friday night and then Missy's White Rabbit on Saturday afternoon.
All right. Sounds
So come out
great.
and check out some tunes. It's going to be a
Yes.
good time. It always is. At least I have a good time.
I think everybody has a great time with you, Kenny.
I hope so.
Yes, they do. All right, Kenny, you have a great week. We'll see you again next time. All right?
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, so if you are watching us and you would like to find out where all the things are happening in Eureka Springs, we do have a website, eurekasprings.channel.com, if you'd like to find out the schedule of events coming up. For all activities here in Eureka Springs, you can just go to www.eurekasprings.channel.com and click on the community calendar, and you should be able to find all of the activities coming up, music-oriented and everything else, Eureka Springs. So go to our community channel. If you do not see your event on our community calendar, be sure and contact us and we'll be sure and add your information on there. Thanks again for watching us, guys, and we'll see you again week after next for Melodye Mondays with Kenny Ray Jackson. Tune in this week on Wednesday at 5 p.m. We have a live stream coming up for a wonderful information about another facility here in Eureka Springs. So you'll want to join us at 5 p.m. this Wednesday for another broadcast. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.